Mayda Devianita. Back home, I study in Universitas Udayana in architecture major. Here, I am so grateful that I got the opportunity to study in College of Art and Social Sciences here in University of Glasgow, Scotland. As of right now, I am inside of the main building area, which is in the cloister area, which happened to be one of the best photo spots here in UFG. Throwing back to the moment I knew IISMA is when I was being introduced by one of my lecturers in Universitas Udayana. So she happened not to only be the International Office Committee but also my lecturer in architecture. So she knew very well that I'm very keen into joining any academical programs. It was such a short time preparation for me because I had to face some difficulties when I was attempt to take my English proficiency test, but fortunately I managed to get my result on time. Really enjoyed the application process because me and my friends in Universitas Udayana are being provided by the International Office a Zoom meeting just before our interview time, just to give an insight of what to improve and what to consider for us during the interview. So I found it really helpful. Long story short, I then got the notification that I got accepted in IISMA, and by then I start doing my preparation for the pre-departure. Because I came all the way from Bali, I had to fly to Jakarta to attend my biometrics. There I met my fellow IISMA awardees, and it is a good start for knowing each other. Talking about pre-departure, it was so nice also that the University of Glasgow visiting teams scheduled a Zoom meeting for us. So there we got to be informed of what the academic looks like here in UFG and basically what the weather looks like here. So we have the idea on what to pack. We also got the chance to meet the PPI, which is the Perhimpunan Pelajar Indonesia, and they gave us a lot of information about quarantine, which we found really helpful. After almost 24-hour exhausting yet fun flight, I then finally arrived in Glasgow. If I had to say one word, my first impression of Glasgow would be cold, or if I could add another one, it would be gloomy. Right after we arrived and we passed administrations and immigrations, we then get directed to our quarantine hotel. My quarantine hotel happened to be in Edinburgh, so I have to spend 14 days in my hotel in Edinburgh. But even though it was 14 days, I had the best quarantine ever. The UFG teams really prepared the quarantine very well. Done with the quarantine, I then got to my accommodation. It was amazing to share a flat with other international students. During my study in University of Glasgow, I learned so many new things and new experiences, including one thing that I rarely do back home, which is walking. Just because my accommodation is located 15 minutes away from the uni, I have to spend 15 minutes to go to the uni every time I have offline classes. Other thing that is very different from my home uni that I noticed is the study culture and the study behavior. Here in University of Glasgow, people tend to love to group together in the university, in the library, or in the James McCune study spaces. I personally have experiences studying in the library as well as the James McCune study spaces, and I found it really helpful in focusing and doing my essays and assignments, and no wonder people love to group together there. In University of Glasgow, we often get assignments such as essay and quizzes, also open book exams, and I personally found it really helpful in improving our critical thinking, analysis, and problem solving. Because I have so many essays and quizzes to do within a week, it requires me to do at least reading or writing something on each day, and I think it is a new habit for me and I'm really happy for that. Besides studying, IISMA also allows me to see the huge world, the beautiful Scotland, to let me explore UK for most part. It's such an amazing experience and opportunity for me that I would never forget. It helps me change the way I see things, to be able to recognize that even small things really matters, and to appreciate every single decisions that I make. It was so worth it that I'm very happy to invite all of you guys to join the IISMA program and prove the experience yourself. Be bold to go abroad.